Welcome to Episode 1 of the Microsoft AI Adoption Accelerator, a 10-episode series for anyone responsible for making Microsoft AI actually stick inside their organization. I'm thrilled you're here. If you have already watched my PROSCI ADKAR series, this builds directly on top of it. Over the next 10 episodes, we will move from the why to the how, and by the end, you will have a practical, Microsoft-aligned playbook for accelerating AI adoption in your business. Today, in Episode 1, we're going to answer one big question. Why is AI adoption fundamentally different from every software rollout you've ever led? Let's get started. Here is the number that should reshape every conversation you have about AI. 75% of knowledge workers worldwide are already using AI at work. That comes from the Microsoft and LinkedIn Work Trend Index. 3 years ago, that number was effectively 0. This is the fastest workplace technology adoption in history. Faster than the personal computer, faster than the internet, faster than the smartphone. And here's the part that should make every IT and change leader sit up. Most of those people are using AI without their organization knowing. They are bringing their own tools, their own accounts, their own workflows. The question is no longer, should we adopt AI? The question is, are we going to lead the wave that is already happening underneath us? Now here is the trap I see organizations fall into again and again. They treat AI like a software rollout. Deploy, train, support, tick the box, move on. But AI is not a software rollout. It is a behavior shift. A traditional rollout has predictable outputs. You click a button, the same thing happens every time. Success means people log in. Value arrives at go live. AI is the opposite. The output changes every prompt. Success is not, did they log in? It is, did the habit form? Value does not arrive at go live. It compounds slowly over weeks of use. So if you take only one thing from this episode, take this. Stop asking, how do we deploy Copilot? And start asking, how do we change behavior at scale? That single reframe will save you months of wasted effort. So why is AI different? 3 reasons. First, it is personal. Every single user is going to use Copilot in a slightly different way. There is no single correct workflow you can document and roll out. Value is unlocked one human at a time. Second, it is generative. The output is never identical twice. Your users have to learn a new skill, how to evaluate, refine, and iterate with the AI, instead of just executing a fixed process. This is uncomfortable for many people who have been rewarded their whole career for following procedures. And third, it is habitual. The value of Copilot compounds with use. Someone who uses it once a week will tell you it's okay. Someone who uses it 10 times a day will tell you they cannot work without it. The first 30 days of habit formation determine whether your investment sticks or fades. Personal, generative, habitual. Every part of your adoption program needs to honor those 3 truths. Now, when habits do form, the numbers are remarkable. Microsoft research across early Copilot customers shows that 70% of users feel more productive. 68% report higher quality of work, better writing, better analysis, better decisions. And on the most common knowledge tasks, searching, writing, summarizing, people are around 29% faster. Think about what 29% faster means at the scale of your organization. If your knowledge workers spend even half their day on those tasks, you are looking at the equivalent of 1 extra working day every 2 weeks per person. That is the prize. But, and this is critical, those numbers only show up where habits formed. Where adoption stalls, the numbers stay flat. Which brings us to the most important slide in this episode. This is what I call the license trap. In a typical enterprise rollout, 100% of seats are deployed. About 78% of users get some form of training. 41% will use the tool at least once a week. 24% will use it daily. And only around 12% ever become true habitual users, the ones generating real measurable value. Look at that gap. 88% of the licenses you paid for never become habits. That is the gap. That gap is where adoption work lives. it is also where most adoption programs go to die, because leaders see the deployment dashboard, see 90-something% of seats activated, and declare victory. They mistake licenses for value. Every framework, every champions program, every measurement system we build in this series is designed to close that 88% gap. Closing that gap is the entire job. Now let's talk horizons. Personal AI is what most of us are doing today, a person and Copilot working together, drafting emails, summarizing meetings, brainstorming ideas, doing research. This is Horizon 1. But the real prize is Horizon 2, organizational AI. This is where you build custom agents, automate processes at scale, ground AI in your own business data, and start unlocking new business models. Copilot Studio, agents, autonomous workflows. These are the tools that take you there. And here is the discipline I want you to remember. You cannot reach Horizon 2 without first earning Horizon 1. If your people are not confidently using personal AI today, no agent strategy in the world will save you. Horizon 1 is the muscle. Horizon 2 is the marathon. Build the muscle first. Now, if you watched my ADKAR series, you already know the change model: awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement. ADKAR is the foundation, but for AI, you need to add an extra layer on top of each step. Awareness becomes awareness plus trust. People will not use AI freely until they trust where their data goes. Desire becomes desire plus curiosity. Replace the fear of being replaced with a safe space to experiment. Knowledge becomes knowledge plus prompt literacy. Knowing the tool is not enough. People need a brand new conversational skill. Ability becomes ability plus habit formation. Without daily reps, the skill decays in weeks. And reinforcement becomes reinforcement plus value visibility. Make the time saved and the quality gained visible to the user and to their manager. ADKAR plus AI layer. That combination is what separates programs that stick from programs that quietly fade 6 months in. Here is the most important picture I will show you in this entire series. 2 organizations launch Copilot on the same day. Same licenses, same training. The only difference is that one runs a champions program with structured nudges, real use cases, and visible value. The other simply deploys and hopes. Watch what happens. After 30 days, both look similar. After 12 weeks, they have completely separated. The first organization has 82% active users. The second is at 11% and falling. Why? Because 30 days is roughly how long it takes a new behavior to become a habit. If you cannot get someone to use Copilot productively at least 3 or 4 times a week in the first month, you have already lost them. The first 30 days decide everything. We will spend an entire episode on champions and nudges later in this series because they are that important. Let me make this concrete with 3 real-world wins I see again and again. In sales, a seller asks Copilot for a brief on the customer, recent emails, the latest opportunity, and competitive context. What used to be a 30-minute pre-meeting routine becomes 5 minutes. Multiply that across every customer meeting in a quarter. That is enormous capacity unlocked. In education, a teacher drafts a lesson plan, differentiates it for 3 reading levels, and generates a parent summary in 1 Copilot session. Lesson planning time drops by around 40%. That is time given back to actual teaching. In operations, a bid team uses Copilot grounded in past proposals to draft answers to RFP questions. Response time drops by a factor of 3. Notice the pattern. These wins are role-specific. They are not Copilot is great at writing. They are Copilot transformed how I do my Tuesday afternoon RFP work. That specificity is where adoption sticks. So what does meaningful adoption actually look like? 4 pillars hold the program up. Pillar 1, vision. Tie adoption to outcomes. Hours saved, decisions accelerated, customer experience lifted. Not, we deployed X seats. Pillar 2, use cases. Build a role-specific library by job family. sales, finance, HR, education, operations. Each gets their own set of high-impact scenarios. Generic demos do not stick. Pillar 3. Skills. Treat prompt literacy as a core capability, like spreadsheet literacy was 20 years ago. Train people on how to ask, give context, evaluate, and iterate. Pillar 4. Trust. Make it simple to understand where the data goes, what stays inside your tenant, and what protections are in place. When people trust the system, they use it without hesitation. Vision, use cases, skills, trust. If your program has all 4, you will succeed. If anyone is missing, expect friction. Here is where we are going together over the next 10 episodes. Today, we covered why AI adoption is different. Episode 2, the Microsoft Copilot Adoption Framework. Envision, onboard, drive value. Episode 3, building your AI vision and business case. Episode 4, use case discovery that actually works. Episode 5, building a champions network. Episode 6, prompt literacy and skill building. Episode 7, trust, data, and responsible AI in plain language. Episode 8, measuring value with the Copilot dashboard. Episode 9, scaling beyond the pilot. And Episode 10, sustaining and evolving with agents, including how Copilot Studio changes the game. By the end, you will have a complete Microsoft-aligned adoption playbook you can put to work on Monday morning. 3 things to take away from today. 1. AI adoption is behavioral. It is not a software project. It is a habit formation program with technology in the middle. 2. Licenses are not value. Track active use, not deployment, because habits are the metric that ties to outcomes. And 3. ADKAR plus the AI layer is what makes adoption stick. Add trust, prompt literacy, habit formation, and value visibility on top of your change framework. And you will move ahead of most organizations. Internalize those 3 points, and you are ready for the rest of the series. Coming up in Episode 2, the Microsoft Copilot Adoption Framework. We will walk through Envision, Onboard, and Drive Value end to end, and I will show you exactly where each step of ADKAR plugs in. If this episode helped you think differently, do me a favor. Subscribe, share it with your team, and join the 10-week journey. Bring your AI adoption project with you, and let's accelerate it together. See you in Episode 2.